You got to talk about it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the Complete Simpleton Podcast, episode 7. Today is a very special episode. Le'ilui Nishmas, in loving memory of Rabbi Fitche Itkin, Yosef Yitzchak Ben Meir.
That we all loved and
Cherished, and perhaps one of the main reasons is because he loved and cherished all of us. This was really the like we say, the portrait of a true chassid that all of us were able to learn from, and he excelled in his Avas Yisrael. Therefore we're gonna, instead of just continuing where we were that time, we're gonna do a special portion that we feel really
bring it attached to this time
yeah.
and era in general, and also I think it identifies in a
It's
way a portion of
a little bit of who
Rabbi
he was
Itkin
and
was.
how
Yeah,
he looked at other people, at
yeah.
everybody. Okay, without further ado,
I'm just gonna say one thing.
yeah,
When I
move
came
this
to
closer.
town,
Move this a little closer to make sure we can hear good.
every time I want to say something,
I move the microphones around. Right? Lower. So we can hear the microphone and see your face. Okay.
All right, so I came to town about 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. I moved into town, and before I even moved into town, I came here to visit town with my wife. And Rabbi Aitken didn't even know me, and he still showed me so much love. And that's, I guess, that's Rabbi Aitken.
That
The
was
words.
that's him. That's not it was him. Hopefully it continues to be him.
Every
And
time I came
for all his
by his
Talmidim
house to see whatever, he's like, "Nu, bunim, zogapes."
right. He was Bichlalos. He was a mashpia in
Oh,
the
he called
in
me
the
Boinim,
Mesivta for
Boinim,
Bainim.
Boinim, Boinim.
He was in the Mesivta mashpia for many years. He was my mashpia, my kids mashpia, also the community, but just in general, everybody he met, it was and I'm telling you, by the way, I met people who don't care much for Yiddishkeit.
But I cared for
But
him.
I would tell them, oh, Rabbi Itkin, who's, oh, Yosef Itkin, oh, my good friend. They wouldn't, you would come, you would hack them a China, put on the film, what's called nothing. Rabbi Itkin would show up, they would immediately. Why? Just because he loved so much and they felt this. And the Talmidim, he was always the one who would look for a special connect to make especially there's the kid who's having trouble or whatever it was. He would and part of the problem with sometimes kids, it's not even what they're capable of doing. It's that sometimes they've got it into their mind that, oh, I'm not good at this. I don't want. He would bring that out in somebody to make the kid in a way of simcha that he feels he can do it, he will do it. And this portion is very very much on those lines.
He also didn't really care for Gashmias at all.
Um, So you see, no. Some people you can say they didn't care for Gashmis. I don't think he knew what Gashmis was, that he could care for it or not. That he could care for it or not care for it.
However you say it, like
I think he was a step beyond not caring for
I think
Gashmis.
he just
He wouldn't know Gashmis if it hit him in the back of the head. He wouldn't know it was Gashmis.
skilled.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, no. By him there was only one. There was the Abishter and the Torah.
It's what I
and
need.
Yidden, and that's it.
By him, it was what I need to be able to connect to the Abishter.
Yeah.
If I need a mask, I'll just give
Right? No, not only that. What's needed to connect to the Eivisher, that's what he considered Gashmias. That was by him he considered. What we think is Ruchnis, he called Gashmias. Okay.
All right. This is already you. I think you are getting on the next level. All right. דע כי צריך לדון את כל האדם לקו זכות. You should know that you should have the merit of the better judgment.
Yeah, you have to judge every person. What is it, to the side of merit?
Yes.
Like something like this.
ואפילו מי שהוא רשע גמור. Even somebody is a complete Russia.
And a complete evil person.
צריך Jewish.
A Jewish evil person.
When the Rebbe speaks את כל האדם, he means a Jewish person. אתם קוראים אדם?
Yeah, like Adam Elyon,
Yeah.
right? Hashem Adam Elyon, that you're
The
similar to
Gemara
Abba.
says, אתם קרואים אדם ואין שאר עמי הארץ קרואים אדם.
Right.
Something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact lesson. ואפילו מישהו רשע
Wait,
גמור,
sorry, yeah.
צריך לחפש ולמצוא פה איזה מעט טוב. Even a Jew person that is a complete rascal, he doesn't care for anything, he doesn't want to care for anything. You need to work hard and search to find some kind of goodness within him. שבאותו המעט אינו רשע. In this little spark or whatever it is, he's not a complete rasha. You see, he's not even saying that he's not that he's on this thing, he's a tzaddik or he's great on this thing. No, even though this little thing that he does, it's not even a full, he's not even doing it fully. He's just touching it a little bit and he's not a complete rasha on that. It's already some kind of goodness.
So you have to search this out and find this in him. Okay.
ועל ידי זה שמוצא בו מעט טוב, ודן אותו לקו זכות. על ידי זה מעלה אותו באמת לקו זכות, ויכול להשיבו בתשובה. By doing this little search and finding this goodness within him, you actually are bringing him up from a level of kav choiva, of like
being guilty, sort of
being guilty, to a better sentence.
Right,
Even in not only in your face, in his actually being.
Right, meaning not meaning not just that you judge him for merit. Now, through judging him for the merit, you're actually bringing out that merit from within him and elevating it.
And you could actually bring in b'tshuva shlema only in your thoughts, to bringing some light on a person, shining some light on a person. Even you're just passing him by the street and you're like, oh, this guy, and you're like, oh, actually, you know what? I heard this guy gave brutal tzedakah.
Yeah. You're a penny to tzedakah.
That's it. You shining the light.
Or he was nice to his mother. Something.
Whatever it is. Anything.
And it's a matter. It's a matter of.
And you know what? If it's so hard, this guy had a breeze.
Right. He did something.
Yeah. וזה בחינת ועוד מעט ואין רשע והתבוננת על מקומו ואיננו. And this is from the same concept, I guess.
Right, it's from this is in the Psalms in the
Teilim Lamed
38, Psalm 38.
No, sorry. Lamed
Zayin 37.
Yeah.
But since we said 38, you got to read 38 first and then go back into 37.
ועוד מעט ואין רשע והתבוננת על מקומו ואיננו.
Right, so it means meaning, like in a little bit, right?
In a little bit,
and there's no more evil one.
And you will look in his place and he's gone.
You'll like contemplate on his place. You'll search in his place and he's not there anymore.
This is the simple explanation, right?
Right.
היינו, meaning, שהפסוק מזהיר לדון את הכל לקו זכות, ואף על פי שאתה רואה שהוא רשע גמור, אף על פי כן צריך אתה לחפש ולבקש למצוא בו מעט טוב, ששם אינו רשע. Meaning, right, the pasuk is warning you, you should have a merit for the better,
right, to find the merit in the person,
to find the goodness in the person. If you see something, don't think it's plain and simple. Oh, this guy just committed a bad thing. He was forced. I don't know. Find a way to think that he had to, or it was the good, or it was the grade of good, or he didn't mean to. Like you see somebody going into a club, he just needed a bathroom, and everywhere else declined him. I mean, you could find your own things. I'm just
whatever it is, but find the good in every person, no matter how. And this is
this is more than finding.
And
good.
This is our usual.
This is ladun letakel lekav zchut.
Right.
Ladun lekav zchut is not like find something good.
I mean, even take the thing that other people are looking at, he's doing evil, and like, you find
don't judge it according to the face value. Look for a reason
find
why it's not.
Find the good in what in right. Okay, in what he did. Just like on even more of a level, really. וזהו ועוד מעט.
וזהו ועוד מעט ואין רשע. שצריך אתה לבקש בו עוד מעט טוב שיש בו עדיין ששם אינו רשע. Basically, this is the explanation of the pasuk, ועוד מעט ואין רשע. The straight meaning is a little bit longer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like a little bit more,
a little bit
and
more, and there's no Russia.
Russia.
So Reb Nachman comes and say here, ועוד מעט, a little bit more, find a little bit more, and and he's not a Russia anymore. That's it.
Right. If you find a little bit where he's not a Russia, he makes him it makes him not a Russia.
שצריך אתה לבקש בו עוד מעט טוב, שיש בו עדיין, ששם אינו רשע, that he still have some goodness in him, that over there in this point he's not a רשע. כי אף על פי שהוא רשע, איך אפשר שאין בו מעט טוב עדיין? Even though he is a Russia, how could it be that he is a complete Russia and he have nothing that he's good in? כי איך אפשר שלא עשה איזה מצווה או דבר טוב מימיו? Because how could it be that his entire life he didn't do one mitzvah or even one good deed? You know,
and it doesn't even make a difference if he intended it as a mitzvah.
Yeah.
The fact is that when you, like we know that Navera, right, to do when we do a transgression, this requires
intention.
Intention. Oh, yeah, that's the word, intention. Thank you. Look, now you have to think in English. On the other hand, a good deed, when we do a mitzvah, even if we didn't have intention, the mitzvah was done and it's valid.
Yep.
So even a mitzvah, something he did.
Oh my God! Oh my God! If you cannot find anything, become a shliach לדבר mitzvah. Put it stuck, you know.
Oh, that's actually right. Because a message of a person, it's
an avera. אין shliach לדבר avera, but
you can be right. You can be a messenger.
I don't know if you could do it. You could give him a kinyan for this pruta.
And look, we can like this. We can bring the whole road to tshuva.
Oh
Everybody shliach.
No,
bring him back.
It might be a complication because if you give him a kinyan of a coin, then you're stealing a coin if you put it in stockman. Of course, the only way to do it is like, okay, I'm giving you a
right,
kinyan.
We'll have to find a loophole.
No, there is already. I already found. You could give him a coin al tnai shilech tzedakah. Anyway,
we'll figure something out.
Yeah. כי איך אפשר שלא עשה איזה מצווה או דבר טוב מימיו, ועל ידי זה שאתה מוצא בו עוד מעט טוב, ששם אינו רשע, ואתה דן אותו לכף זכות, על ידי זה אתה מעלה אותו באמת מכף חובה לכף זכות, עד שישוב בתשובה על ידי זה. Basically, through that you are finding them this little more good, that over there that is not a rasha, and you are judging him for the better judgment of merit, or I don't know, I think the translation of לדון אותו לכף זכות is to judge him to the better judgment. But most people who speak English disagree with me.
But it means the same thing. You judge him to a meritorious judge. It means you're judging him for in positivity, in a positive way.
Okay, we said all of that.
Yeah, so now through this that you're judging him this way, that you're finding this little place where he's not evil, you're actually bringing him out of being evil and bringing him more over to the side of being meritorious, of having zchut.
Right. So
and through this you can cause him to do tshuva,
just a little statement. Just a little statement. This is quite a long Torah, a long mimer, but it's repeatable.
Yeah.
But if you follow, you'll see the lashon changes as we continue. So right now he says, go find with them a little bit of goodness. And we're going to see how it's the whole Torah is the whole idea progresses.
It's like the idea
the whole idea develops and progresses. I'm going to try to point it out. And the lashon is kind of a little bit changing as we go. And we'll get there, okay? All right. And this is a little bit longer and there is no rasha. על ידי שמוצא ברשע עוד מעט, טוב, ששם אינו רשע. על ידי זה והתבוננת על מקומו ואיננו. Through that, now he's explaining the second part of the pasuk. Through that you are looking into this guy and you're finding a little bit more goodness in them, that in there is not a rasha. This brings you to the והתבוננת על מקומו ואיננו, that you look in his place and he's gone. היינו, meaning, כשתתבונן ותסתכל על מקומו ומדרגתו, when now that you're glancing again this guy, and his madrega and everything, ואיננו שם על מקומו הראשון. על מקומו הראשון. ואיננו שם על מקומו הראשון. And he's not there on his original place that you looked at him before you found something good at him. You like glance them and he's like a complete rasha. and now you saw something good about him,
Found this thing.
found this thing good about him, and you glance him again, and he's not there anymore because he's on the next level now. Now he's yeah. כי על ידי שמוצאים בו עוד מעט טוב, because through this that you find a little bit more good, איזה נקודה טובה, a little spark, a little something good in him. ודנין אותו לקו זכות, and you judge him to the better judgment, to the merit. על ידי זה מוציאים אותו באמת מקו חובה לקו זכות. Through that you actually are uplifting him from the קו חובה,
from being guilty basically to being meritorious.
Yeah.
Meaning all you're doing in the beginning is you're finding in your mind, when you're looking at him, you're finding in your judgment, you're judging him not guilty and meritorious. But the result is that he's actually going to become not guilty and become actually meritorious because of how you thought about him.
וזהו, והתבוננת על מקומו ועניינו, and this is what it means, that you will look on his place and he's gone, כנ"ל, as we explained before, ואבן. And you should understand. Now, once you practice it on other people, comes the real hard work.
Now, but by the way, just a point, because I remember when we learned this once, so you actually pointed this out to me. Was that in this whole thing, you see Rabbi Nachman's going. First he goes V'oid ma'at, a little more. Then he goes Oid ma'at, a little more. And he goes a little. In other words, it's not just a one-time thing. It's you're constantly finding. And now that he's at that level, okay. So now he's not at his first level. No, but now we go V'oid ma'at, a little more.
This is what I told them. If they want to look, if he's going to look at the lashon,
right, how the wording is, yeah.
Over here it says od ma'at. Yeah, you need to find a little bit, and then the pasuk said ve'od me'at, right? But the Torah start צריך לחפש ולמצוא פה איזה מעט טוב. You need to find
a little,
and the next the progression is like ve'od me'at,
a little more, a little bit more.
Anyway, but here starts the real avodah, because until now we spoke about how to judge the other people,
right?
The people surrounding you, and in my opinion, and I'm very, very judgmental person, I judge everybody, including myself. Shouldn't say it on my
well, sometimes especially yourself we judge,
but it's harder to find a goodness in yourself. And he said the next paragraph is about yourself. By
the way, you should know that after I learned this with Buddha the first time, so he was running Isai got I very much liked this thing. One of the reasons, there's certain things that hit you in a certain place. Different people have a different Yetzer Hara. You could have all kinds of different. One person, he just wants to kill everybody. Fine. Okay, thank God I don't have such a Yetzer Hara. Maybe a little bit.
What are you dreaming about at night? I see you have a green flag
right
there. What's up?
So by me, I find one of the biggest challenges, no matter what I'm doing in life, even if I'm doing it successfully, the Yetzer Hara picks up its head and it makes you think that almost like you're not valid. You're not almost like everybody's gonna find you out. But they're gonna come and realize that really, even though I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they're gonna realize really I'm a fraud. And so sometimes the hardest, and not only that, if you want to judge somebody else positively, right? If you can't help yourself, you can't help somebody else. Right. So this is where, to me, anyways, that was where this next part took on a big meaning. Because and actually, once we're speaking of it, I remember once I walked into Rabbi Itkin's house, and I said something derogatory about something somewhat derogatory about myself, whatever it was. So Rabbi Itkin, she told me she said, who said you're allowed to say something like that? She said you're not allowed to speak bad about a Jew. She said you're also a Jew. Not speaking bad about a Jew applies to yourself also.
Yeah.
So on the same lines.
All right. So, וכן צריך האדם למצוא גם בעצמו. כי זה ידוע שצריך האדם להיזהר מאוד להיות בשמחה תמיד ולהרחיק העצבות מאוד מאוד. And also, a person needs to find some goodness in himself as well, because it's known that a person needs to be very, very careful to be always happy. Not happy, in a happiness stage,
joyous,
of a joy and happiness stage of being. You see, it says you need to be in happiness and distance the sadness away. ולהרחיק העצבות מאוד. The lashon here is like push away the sadness. Don't distance yourself from the sadness. You stay here. Make the sadness uncomfortable be around you. How? By bringing to you the happiness. It's almost like a light and dark. Yeah? Dark is not a thing. Right? Because the moment you put a little bit of light, the darkness goes away.
Right. And so like where did it go?
Where did it go? It's distance away. You bringing an action of light, it just automatically takes the illusion of darkness. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
All right, good. Because happiness is a thing. You could wake up in the morning.
Right. Happiness.
And you have, the amount of times that I wake up in the morning and I'm in good mood because I forgot already what I was sad about last night. And then 3 seconds in, I'm like, oh man, I remember. And then you have a choice to make. Do I accept this memory? Or I am like, all right, I'm moving on. I'm happy. Fresh day. Basically, what I'm saying is that a stage of happiness and sadness is a choice that everybody makes.
Yeah.
Every second. You see somebody ripping up your book. You know, it happens to me all the time. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And you could choose how to react to it. Either be like mad, crazy, and the person would be like, I was just playing. Or you could choose to be like explaining and be like, hello, it's my stuff. Please get off of it.
Yeah, what it comes down to is there's in our life,
anyway,
at every moment there's what happens. And whatever happens, happens. And then there's our reacting to what happens. What happens, we don't always have a choice.
But how to react,
how we're going to react to this thing that happened, this we have.
So the bottom line is what I was trying to say here is that happiness, it's something that you could bring in. But sadness, if you have no happiness, sadness is an illusion that just fills up a void. It's not a state of being. It's just something that but you don't need to fight the sadness. You just need to bring in the happiness. Because if you try to fight the sadness, you're gonna lose every time. But if you just bring in the happiness, the sadness is gonna go away.
It's like going into a room and trying to push the dark.
Yep.
It's not gonna help you.
You just need to bring some light.
And not only that, what ends up happening is you end up then you're focusing on the depressing thing that's depressing in the first place.
Yep.
Rather than just bring in the light of simcha, the light of joy.
ואפילו כשמתחיל להסתכל בעצמו, ורואה שאין בו שום טוב והוא מלא חטאים, ורוצה הבעל דבר להפילו על ידי זה בעצבות ומרה שחורה, חס ושלום, אף על פי כן אסור לו ליפול מזה, רק צריך לחפש ולמצוא בעצמו איזה מהטוב, כי איך אפשר שלא עשה מימיו איזה מצווה או דבר טוב, ואף שמתחיל להסתכל באותו הדבר טוב, הוא רואה שהוא גם כן מלא פצעים ואין בו מתום. היינו, שרואה שגם המצווה והדבר שבקדושה שזכה לעשות הוא גם כן מלא פניות ומחשבות זרות ופגמים הרבה. עם כל זה, איך אפשר שלא יהיה באותו המצווה והדבר שבקדושה איזה מעט טוב? Can you explain it? I need to take
this. So, even when a person still looks at himself and he sees that and he finds this good thing in himself, and even if he starts looking at himself and he's not finding good, right? Just like it's easy to do with somebody else, it's easy to do with oneself as well. And he's looking at himself, and all he sees is no good, and all he sees is sin, and all he sees and the baldover, the evil inclination wants to bring him down. That's all that is the evil inclination is trying to bring him down with depression. And with Mora Shchayr, it means like a black mood, like a darkness, like when somebody's in a dark place. Chas v'shalom, God forbid. Af al pichein also le'lipol mizeh. It is forbidden for him to fall from this. He should not allow the evil inclination to let him fall, to make him fall. But rather he should search and find, just like you're required to do for somebody else. So too for yourself, you have to search and find in himself some little good. just like with the other person, whatever it is, or even if it's a thing that there's some good inside of it, just to find that little thing. And even when if when he looks at this thing, he sees that it's not a fully good thing, but like you said, and it's full of this means like wounds and like, but meaning it's not the it's not the best. His good deed wasn't in the best way it could be. So, for example, he sees that even the mitzvah he did, even the holy thing that he merited to do, is also full of he had when he of it's full of what do you call it, like faults and damages, meaning, like, for example, he finally thinks of himself, you know what, oh wait, I wait a second, I put on tefillin this morning, and then he says, oh, you know what, even that I didn't do right. While I was putting on tefillin, what was I thinking about? I was thinking about my business meeting, I was thinking about this, I was thinking about that. So that's the Yetzer Hara. It tries, even when we're trying to look for good in ourselves, he tries to find little things of fault in it. However, he's still, just like you had to do for somebody else, you have to do it for yourself also. Is to focus on the good part of what you did, because in this mitzvah certainly there is good in there. Because even so, however it was done, even if he didn't do it perfectly, but still, even so, there is some point of good in the mitzvah and the good thing that he did. Because a person must search and to look deeply for in himself some little good and focus on that, so that he can enliven himself and be able to come to a state of joy, like we said before. So just like in somebody else when you find it, and here, if you're going to think bad about yourself and you're going to think about how you do what you did wrong, and even the good thing you did was wrong, then what's going to happen? You're going to end up being depressed. But if you focus on the good part of what you did and take joy in that, oh, you know what? I put tefillin on this morning. So, like, on like Tehillim on what is it, on Shabbos Mevorachim, right? You know how many people I see they say, oh, I didn't even finish the whole Tehillim or whatever. Wait, you said a few kapitach Tehillim. You did something amazing. Take joy in it. Why? Because that joy is going to elevate you. That's going to bring you up, and now you're going to have a real simcha. ועל ידי זה
ועל ידי זה שמחפש ומוצא בעצמו עדיין מעט טוב, and through that you're looking and finding in yourself a little bit more of goodness, על ידי זה הוא יוצא באמת מקו חובה לקו זכות, ויכול לשוב בתשובה, בבחינות ועוד מעט ואין רשע, והתבוננת על מקומו בינינו כנ"ל. So basically, and through that you're looking in yourself and finding a little bit good in yourself, through that you're actually bringing yourself also a little bit of goodness to uplift your soul and give you some chayus, happiness, life. And through that you could come to simcha. Did I skip something?
No, right. And like this, he comes out of and you can do repentance. So meaning just like we said that when you treat somebody else that way, you can bring him to repentance. Right. When you treat yourself that way, you bring yourself to
happiness now.
And joy, right, which you can only do without joy.
I did jump
בחינות, ועוד מעט ונרשע.
בחינות, ועוד מעט ונרשע, ותבונות על מקומו בינינו. Do that, yeah, you can find yourself.
היינו.
Yeah. היינו, meaning, כמו שצריך לדון אחרים לכף זכות, the same way you need to judge other people to כף זכות, to the better merit, אפילו את הרשעים, even though they are רשע, ולמצוא בהם איזה נקודה טובה, and finding in them some good sparks, ועל ידי זה מוציאים אותם באמת מכף חובה לכף זכות, ועל ידי זה מוציאים אותם באמת מכף חובה לכף זכות, בבחינת ועוד מעט וכו' והתבוננת וכו' כנ"ל. So basically,
like we said before.
Yeah.
that just like you can do to somebody else,
You could do it, yeah.
the same thing you have to do to yourself also.
כמו כן הוא אצל האדם בעצמו, the same thing you need to do in himself, שצריך לדון את עצמו לכף זכות, that you need to judge yourself for the marriage, ולמצוא בעצמו איזה נקודה טובה עדיין, and to find in himself a little good spark, כדי לחזק את עצמו שלא ייפול לגמרי, to strengthen yourself, to not fall completely, from עבודת השם, חס ושלום, ורק אדרבה, יחיה את עצמו וישמח את נפשו במעט הטוב שמוצא בעצמו. Like, the opposite. Bring yourself some chayus, some leben, some lebendigkeit, some life. Yourself.
Yeah.
וישמח את נפשו, and make yourself joy and happiness for your soul in the little goodness that you're finding in yourself. דהיינו, מה שזכה לעשות מימיו איזה מצווה או איזה דבר טוב, like, you had a zchus to do one mitzvah in your entire life. Whoa.
Yeah. And
Bring yourself.
Yeah.
Bring yourself, like, tell yourself, like, great, I'm a great person. I managed to worship the king of the world with one little thing and make his wheel to go through, you know?
Right.
וכמו כן צריך לחפש עוד, למצוא בעצמו עוד איזה דבר טוב, וגם שגם אותו הדבר הטוב הוא גם כן מעורב בפסולת הרבה. עם כל זה יוצאים משם גם כן איזה נקודה טובה. But you see, and now it comes in, כמו כן צריך לחפש עוד, you need to find more. למצוא בעצמו עוד איזה דבר טוב. Like after you finish, you find something
Okay,
good. Well, all right, now this thing is good, it's already...
Now one level, okay, now
right.
next level.
Search for the next one. It's a search of life. It never stops.
It's a constant, yeah.
ואף שגם אותו הדבר הטוב הוא גם כן מעורב בפסולת הרבה, even though those extra thing, okay, you found one pure thing or whatever, and now you're finding another thing, and it's mixed up with a lot of, you know, schmutz.
Yeah, I didn't do it, yeah, schmutz. Yeah, schmutz is English now. Yeah. It's like schlep or,
yeah. Anyway, so...
Schwitz.
So, look, take out, עם כל זה יוצאים משם גם כן איזה נקודה טובה. Take out of the schmutz, the little goodness, you know?
No, don't focus on the schmutz part of it, focus on the good part of it.
And by the way, it's not a borer on Shabbos because you're taking the good out of the bad and not the bad out of the good. So you can do it on Shabbos as well.
On Shabbos, you're only not allowed to take the bad out from the good.
Yeah.
The good you're allowed to take out of the bad, so.
וכן יחפש וילקט עוד הנקודות טובות. And so on, he should find and look for and grab all the good points and sparks in him. ועל ידי זה נעשים ניגונים, and through this of finding the goodness in yourself, songs are created.
That's the song of life. It could be both.
Okay.
But the music, you're making music, you're making songs.
כמבואר במקום אחר, as it's explained somewhere else.
Yeah,
בחינת
explained another.
מנגן בכלי זמר. In a בחינה...
In a way of
playing
instruments,
in instrument, שהוא בחינת שמלקט הרוח טובה מן הרוח נכה, עצבות רוח. That basically you need a breeze, you need air to play music. And this is the same concept over here. You're looking for the goodness, and it's what is a good deed? Is air. Everything is air. So you're looking for the good air out of the bad air.
If you look, sound is made out of vibrations in the air. If you're playing a violin, right? If I don't know how to play a violin, if I'm going to make it, it's going to be very bad sounding vibrations. But when you focus on the good points of vibration, now beautiful music comes out.
Right. מן הרוח הנכה, עצבות רוח, so basically the sadness.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So basically you have to find the good in yourself, and you have to look at for the good in other people. And through this you can bring joy to yourself and joy to other people. And it's like watering a plant that, you know, if you water the weeds grow. If you water the plants grow. So we should choose to water the plants and see a little bit of good. And through this, the good will grow. And that's it for today. And we'll see you, God willing, next week. And this was Ilui Nishmas Rav Yosef Yitzchak Ben Meir, in loving memory of our dear mashpia and mentor, and the Chassid Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Itkin. Have a great day. Be blessed.